Welcome back to Pro Cars. Imagine spending supercar money, not to buy a Ferrari, not a Lamborghini, but to turn a Mercedes G-Wagon into a carbon fiber, 820 horsepower luxury monster that can sprint like a sports car and still climb a mountain afterward. This thing isn't just custom, it's literally handcrafted by a company that treats cars like jewelry. It wears carbon fiber like armor, uses Arabic calligraphy like artwork, and in some versions, even has suicide doors on a G-Wagon. Yes, rear hinge doors, on a 4x4 brick. And today, you'll finally understand why some people pay insane money for the MANSORY P820 AG63 so extreme. You either love it or fear it. Stay with me till the end, because there's a hidden feature that takes this SUV beyond luxury and beyond logic. And once you know it, you'll realize this isn't transportation anymore. It's a statement of power. Let's start with this. The P820 is not a Mercedes model. It's based on the AMG G63, but the final product is a MANSORY creation. That's like buying a Rolex and then sending it to a master craftsman who engraves the entire surface by hand. Now it's no longer just a watch, it's art. MANSORY doesn't build for the mainstream market. They build for ultra-rich collectors who want something so exclusive nobody else in their city, or sometimes even in their country, owns the same specification. Some editions are literally tailored to culture, like the Linea Dorado version, with Arabic calligraphy and bronze luxury finishes, targeted specifically to Middle Eastern buyers. So while Mercedes builds performance luxury, MANSORY builds ego, status, and individuality into a vehicle. And the P820 is their most aggressive interpretation of the G-Wagon yet. Let's look at how they transform an already intimidating G63 into the P820. First, carbon fiber everywhere. The hood, fender flares, bumpers, door pieces, side extensions, roof accessories all sculpted from exposed carbon. This isn't just for looks, though yes, it looks wild. Carbon fiber cuts weight and improves stiffness. On a tall, heavy SUV, every kilo matters, especially when you're pushing 820 horsepower. The wide-body kit isn't just wide for drama. Bigger intakes help cool those enlarged turbochargers, and that wider stance increases stability, especially when you're trying to launch a 2.5-ton tank to 60 miles per hour in supercar time. Then there's the roof lighting setup. Some versions come with 6 spotlights up top. These are functional for visibility off-road, but let's be honest, most owners use them to blind everyone behind them at the mall valet. We can pretend it's off-road, but we know the truth. And wait for it, certain P820 versions swap the G-Wagon's normal doors for suicide doors. This is extremely rare in SUVs, because it requires structural reinforcement to maintain rigidity. That means MANSORY isn't just adding body pieces, they're literally re-engineering the chassis. That detail alone hints at the level of craftsmanship happening here. We're not done. The P820 sits on massive 24-inch forged wheels. Not cast, forged. Stronger, lighter, more performance-oriented. And every inch of the aesthetic, from bronze paint options to custom patterns, is bespoke. No two builds need to look the same. Hook for what's next. If the outside is this crazy, wait till you see the inside. Some versions are painted by an actual celebrity artist. Inside, the P820 abandons almost everything from the factory G63. MANSORY retrims the entire cabin in premium Napa leather with custom stitching colors depending on the theme. Want bronze interior to match the exterior accents? Done. Want Arabic-themed patterns? They'll handcraft it. Some versions even use 3D embossed leather, sculpted into texture, something you normally see on concept cars or exotic furniture. Carbon fiber isn't limited to the outside. The dashboard, console, door panels, full carbon patterns, custom colors. But here's the flex, the Starlight headliner. Borrowed from the Rolls-Royce playbook, MANSORY integrates a sparkle ceiling, turning the cabin into a literal night sky. The tech underneath remains Mercedes, and that's a good thing. You still get the excellent Mercedes infotainment system, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, 360 degrees cameras, adaptive cruise, lane keeping, blind spot monitoring. The platform remains smart, but the experience becomes personal. And here comes the tease. This interior is luxurious. But one version of the P820 doesn't just customize the inside. It turns the entire vehicle into a real, rolling piece of art. I'll reveal that surprise at the end. Okay, the beast part. Behind the bold looks, this SUV hides a heavily modified version of AMG's 4-liter twin-turbo V8. MANSORY upgrades the turbos, installs a sport air intake, larger downpipes, a remapped ECU, and a valve-controlled performance exhaust. The result? 820 horsepower and up to 1,150 Newton of torque. To put that into perspective, that's more torque than many supercars. You're basically driving a skyscraper with the power of a track monster. Acceleration? 0-100 kilometers per hour, 0-62 miles per hour in about 3.5 seconds on certain versions. That's absurd for something this heavy, this boxy, and this unapologetically dramatic. The top speed is limited to roughly 250 kilometers per hour, 155 miles per hour, because physics still matters, and at some point, even ego has to respect the wind. The sport chassis lowers the suspension a little, firms things up, and gives the P820 a sharper feel. Not comfortable like a Maybach, but not reckless either. It's a brute that knows what it's doing. But hang on, we're getting closer to the wild hidden detail. Even though MANSORY re-engineers parts of the vehicle, many safety systems are preserved from the AMG platform. You still get adaptive cruise control, lane assist, blind spot detection, hill start control, traction management, and all the sensors that make a heavy, powerful SUV feel controllable. The 360-degree cameras remain. Parking assist remains. And that's important because when you're driving a carbon fiber tank worth hundreds of thousands, you don't want to scratch it against a curb in a Starbucks drive-thru. Braking isn't fully disclosed by MANSORY, but considering the weight, the power, and the price, upgraded high-performance brakes are the norm. You don't sell an 820 horsepower brick without stopping power. That's tuning industry logic. There's no official price list. You can't just walk into a showroom and pick one off the shelf. MANSORY requires commission like ordering a yacht. Estimates suggest normal conversions start above 300,000 euros and can easily climb far higher. And some extreme models with extended wheelbase, gold themes, or special art editions could enter multi-million territory depending on customization. This is not mass production, it's atelier manufacturing, a rolling collectible. Versus competitors, Brabus 800G63 exists, but it's more performance-focused. MANSORY leans into art, ego, and extravagance. Luma design competes visually, but not with the same cultural personalization or chassis modifications. Who buys the P820? Someone who wants the G-Wagon to stop being a car and become identity. Someone who doesn't want to fit in with other G63 owners, even if they already spent six figures. This SUV isn't about commuting. It's about status projection, arriving somewhere and making people instantly think, this person has resources, and no fear of attention. It's a vehicle for collectors, Middle Eastern luxury buyers, celebrities, and business moguls who would never drive something everyone else has. Could you daily it? Sure, but why daily a masterpiece? Would you drive it everywhere, or only on special occasions? Let me know in the comments. Here it is, the wildest version of the P820 isn't just modified, it's hand-painted by a famous artist. The Art Piece Edition, limited to just 10 units, features full carbon bodywork, convertible options, and real artwork inside the cabin by pop artist Alec Monopoly. Not printed, not vinyl, painted. This is where the P820 crosses the line, not just between luxury and performance, but between automobile and museum-class art. You're not just buying horsepower, you're buying culture, creativity, and bragging rights no normal car can offer. So now you understand why the MANSORY P820 exists. It's performance, luxury, culture, ego, art, and engineering compressed into one outrageous machine. Which feature shocked you the most? The suicide doors? The 820 HP tuning? Or the Alec Monopoly hand-painted cabin? Drop a comment below and tell me which exotic machine you want broken down next, so you know exactly what makes it special before anyone else does.